What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Missflips. Happy New Year! It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful new year, and I hope that this one brings you so much joy and love and prosperity. In today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to restore pieces like this without any power tools. So no sanding, no drilling, no nothing. So let's get flippin'. So I got this piece off of Facebook Marketplace for $200, and normally I wouldn't spend that much on a piece. However, I Google Lensed it, and it turned out that it's selling for a lot higher than $200. So I will probably be selling this locally, so I'm not expecting to get these crazy high numbers like I would online. However, this does tell me that I at least will be able to make a profit off of it. This piece was honestly in way worse shape than it looked on Facebook Marketplace. However, it provides me with a great opportunity to show you guys how little simple adjustments to a piece can make a world of a difference. While I was taking out the drawers, I noticed that the edge banding along the tops and sides of the drawers had been either completely removed or very damaged, so we're definitely gonna need to give those guys some love. And I also noticed that the secretary desk wasn't pushing in all the way, so I'm gonna get started on fixing that first before I get to cleaning. So using my excellent detective skills, I deduced that something was obstructing the desk. Sure enough, there was a plethora of items under there, including some memory cards, as well as an old shopping list and a little canvas, a little cutie canvas that someone's kid had probably painted. But unfortunately, none of those were causing the obstruction, so I went underneath to scope it out, and I found something rather interesting. There was this little envelope in the back, and it had "Do not throw away" written on it. And when I went to look inside it, I found something kind of cool. I don't really know what it is. I tried to Google Lens it, and it didn't come up as anything of value. But if you know anything about baseball cards, let me know in the comments, because I know absolutely nothing. Moving right along, none of those things ended up being the culprit. It turned out to be a broken piece of particle board that was getting in the way of this closing, so I had to rip off the backing of the piece and then remove the piece of particle board myself, and this solved the issue perfectly. It turned out to be way easier than I thought it was, and nothing mechanical wrong at all. So now that I got the mechanical issues out of the way, it was time to give this piece a deep clean, so I started off with vacuuming all of the dust and debris out, and then I moved on to wiping it down with cleaning products as well as a damp cloth. I honestly thought that the tube would work better than the brush for some reason, but let me just tell you, when you're working with sawdust, just use a brush. It's way more satisfying, and also it gets the job done. I don't really know what this is. It's like some sort of chalky, wood fillery, something or other, but it wasn't coming off, so I decided to soak it in some water, and that worked really well. So note to self, when you don't know what it is, just soak it in water. For cleaning the piece, I decided to go with a regular household cleaner instead of my usual vinegar and water solution, mainly because I was, out of vinegar. But anyways, I just made sure to wipe off all of the soap afterwards with a damp rag, and then I got to cleaning up the scuffs that were on the piece. And for this, I am using something close to a magic eraser. You can use a magic eraser if you want. However, I find that the off-brands work just as well, and they're a lot cheaper too. But I for some reason, it just came to me. I was like, yo, I bet you anything a magic eraser would work on stuff like this, and luckily enough it does. You just have to be careful and make sure that you don't rub off the finish while you're doing that. It even works for problems like this where you have marker all over your drawer from your kids, or just from pens being in the drawer, pens exploding, all that good stuff. It works wonders, so I highly recommend giving this a try. When it came to removing the edge banding on the drawers, I opted to use my heat gun. However, you can do the same thing by using a household iron and just running it along the edge banding, just taking your time and making sure that the heat starts melting the glue, and then you can just peel it right up. Now to apply new edge banding, these are the 3 things that you're gonna need. Oh, and also a little cute mini iron that you get from Amazon because it's cute and green and pretty. Anyways, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take your edge banding and you're gonna cut it down to size. I personally like to make sure that there's about a millimeter or 2 on each side. That way, when you put the edge banding on the side, the top piece of edge banding hangs over the side pieces of edge banding just a little bit. That way you can go in and sand off the excess and make sure that it's a really nice, clean, smooth corner. When applying it, I don't like to do it the way that I'm doing it here. I only did it for this first drawer and then did it a different way from then on. I like to start at the end of the drawer with the end of the edge banding and ironing all the way from that side all the way down to the other side, guiding it with my fingers like I'm doing here. Don't start it from the middle. It's nonsense. So once you're done applying the edge banding, it's time to cut off the excess, and you always want to go in the direction of the arrows that are on the tool. However, I am still getting used to this tool. This is only the second time that I've used it. I do feel like there has to be a better product out there because this was just really gritty and it didn't really do the job well. So if you guys know of a better product out there, please let me know in the comments. I would love to purchase that because yeah, this one just ain't doing it for me. But once everything is sliced and good to go, I went in with a sanding block and just sanded off all of the edges, corners, and surfaces just to make sure everything was nice and smooth. Once everything was nice and sanded, I went in with some stain in the color Early American, and I found that this color was the best for letting it stand out a little bit, but also blend in to the point where it didn't, like, look out of place, if you know what I mean. Because I like my edge banding to accent. I don't like it to take away or to just disappear into the wood grain. I like a touch of an accent. So I opted for something that was a little different from the color of the rest of the piece, but something that would still look really nice and cohesive. For the little scuffs and dings that were on the piece, I went in with a touch-up marker and just went and touched it up. For normal wear and tear like this, you can never get the scratches completely up unless you strip or sand or do something like that, removing the finish, but you can make it look a whole lot better with this product here or an oil or wax, whatever you choose to use. I'm personally using this on the desk just because I want it to have a little bit of a tinted stain to it, just so it gives some life back into those scratches where the stain was removed. But as you can see, a little bit goes such a long way and just gives all of those little scratches and dings the love that they need to kind of just blend back in with the rest of the piece. For the rest of the piece, the damage wasn't quite as obvious, so I went in with Melange's Board and Boot Quenching Balm and made sure to just nicely and gently work it into the wood grain. That way, the wood got all of the quenching that it needs, and you can see the difference already. It just looks so nice and luscious and buttery and hydrated. I apply this stuff very similarly to wax because it does have wax in it, so I apply a good thick coat and let it sit for a little bit, but then make sure to wipe up all of the excess. That way you don't get dried swirls or lines in your finish when the wax is finished drying. Alright guys, so as we come to a close here, I just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting me this last year. It has been such an amazing time, and I look so much forward to the year to come and all of the flips that I have to show you guys. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe and do all those things so that we can stay a happy flippin' family. And if you're a returning supporter, thank you so much. Your support means the world to me. If you would like to check out my membership program, make sure to do that. I have some awesome benefits on there for you guys, including early access to videos and unlimited help and advice from yours truly on pieces that you are working on. But anyways, until next time guys, I hope you have a wonderful start to your new year and stay flippin'.